Good evening and welcome to November 18th, 2021 Board of Education meeting. I would like to call the meeting to order. At this time, we have Ms. Dwan Kraft that will lead us in our invocation.
Thank you. About 2 weeks ago, Hannah Nunes, a sixth grader at Moyock Middle School, lost her life, and I would like to read this quote from Stephen Charleston, and then we'll have a moment of silence. Your song will not end. The kindness you have shown, the wisdom you have shared, the love you have given, none of that will end. It will go on, pass like a heirloom of faith from person to person, not only of your own family, but between the countless others you have known, cared for, worked with, prayed for, and respected. You have made music with your life. You have made a witness. The harmony you have embodied and the hope you have embraced will sing on after you, sing on into generations yet to come. Your vision will live in many hearts until one joyous day it joins the chorus of life that began when Spirit first started to sing. So if we could have a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kraft. We're delighted to have our school spotlight tonight for Central Elementary School has joined us, and Miss Angela Ferris, our principal, will be leading us with the help of some of her students with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Evening.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And Ms. Ferris, if you want to remain standing for the school spotlight.
Good evening. Can y'all hear me? All right. You met a couple of our special friends. The one with the bow is Miss Shayla Darden, and the other one is Jade Markham. I also brought with me Brandon Weichel. He's our assistant principal. And I have Jennifer Barnes, who is our Title I specialist. So we're excited to be spotlighted tonight. We've worked really hard, and we have tried to bring reading as a major focus. Starting this new year back into a normal year. So, one of the things that was very important to us is that everybody is reading and reading everywhere in the school, every chance we can. So, with that, I want to talk about what we've done. We've done a little bit of genre adventure, which is each grade level has selected a genre to study and then do activities with their students and then do things throughout the building to celebrate that. So if you walk through our building, you'll see many different genres, many different activities, all kinds of things. So to help me share all of that, I'm going to ask that Mr. Weichel and Jennifer come on up.
Good evening. As Ms. Ferris said, I'm Jennifer Barnes, and I'm the Title I Reading Specialist at Central Elementary. As you've heard, the Eagles are really soaring into reading this year. It's been a huge focus, and we've been really excited. We recently had our first Title I night, and it was a huge success. The parents were very excited to finally be back in the buildings. We were excited to see them. The conversations were wonderful. Many of the families even said, this is the first time we've ever been in the building, and they've had children in our school for a year and a half. Mm-hmm. So it was a great opportunity to have them come in and really see what our school had to offer. We were also very excited because we had a record-breaking turnout. We more than doubled our normal turnout at these events. We actually had 502 sign in for the event that night.
That's great.
And it was wonderful.
I thought we were going to have to cut the hot dogs in half.
Yeah.
We were so excited to see everybody we shared. So,
Yeah, it was amazing. We looked out the door and people were wrapped around
That's a good problem to have, yes.
Miss Kraft in line also.
Yes,
twice.
Yes.
So it's
yeah, because y'all told me about it, so I had to come back. And
So it was a great night. After the parents were able to go to some parent information sessions and the students did crafts, we then opened it up to basically like a fall festival in the gym and courtyard. There were a lot of games going on for the families. We had dinner that night. There were raffles and free pumpkin patch, ices. It was just a wonderful time to enjoy each other and an opportunity for parents to see one another, meet some of their friends. It was a fabulous evening. The families also had time to walk through the building, and the students have been working very hard on their writing and different literacy projects this year. They were displayed in the hallways, and it was really nice to be able to see them be able to share those projects with their parents and the writing and things that were going on. So it was a fabulous night, and we were so happy to finally get our families back into the school and where they can enjoy everything with us. I'm going to let Mr. Weichel share some more about that night.
Right, so our third grade group and Miss Belch actually did a word wall on all of our windows inside of our courtyard, and this is some of the pictures. She drew pumpkins with paint and,
Wow.
and just labeled all the windows inside of our courtyard with those, and you can see the little leaves and stuff on the windows. Those are all have little words in them from all of the different grade levels, so the parents and students can go back and see those words when they're walking by. The third grade actually picked a genre that did folk tales and fables, and so they all did different door decorations, and they all had different parts of things. And the two that are here tonight will be looking through the ant book and the grasshopper, and so they'll tell you a little bit more about that and how they become what the projects they have. Jade and Shayla will tell you a little bit more about their projects.
We have learned the different characteristics of fables, folktales, and myths by reading stories from different cultures. After learning the different characteristics of fables, folktales, and myths, we've learned to recount and summarize the stories. And here's one of our projects. It's called The Ant and the Grasshopper.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
I'm a little taller. It really was exciting to see it be a school-wide thing and it go all the way through the classrooms. With that, we also had a lot of community support, so I wanted just to thank all of them as well. This is children collaborating, working together. There's their product. And then all of our community support. So it's really, really fabulous. We had a lot of help, and it has been a fun thing to do. So come on by, lots to see, and thank you very much for having us, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ferris. Shayla?
Good job.
Ms. Ferris, will you put the mic down? And Shayla and Jade, will you come back up and state your full name and your grade?
My name is Shayla Darden, and I'm in third grade. I'm Jade Markin, and I'm in third grade too.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Great job.
Very good.
Keep up the good work.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Ms. Ferris. Okay, public comment session. We didn't have anyone sign up. All right. Do we have an approval for our agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second? We have a first. We have a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we amend the agenda and have some discussion on our current school calendar
Okay.
and possibly look at ways we can improve it. And also to the consent agenda, I would like to add the technology purchase to Trafera.
Okay.
So do we need to have a second for that, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have a motion to change the agenda, to make a change. So I need another first motion to change the agenda with Janice.
I make a motion that we change the agenda to what
to be able to
Ms. Rose
discuss. Now,
said.
do you want to discuss that tonight?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and do that, Janet.
We have to have a second.
Okay.
I'll second.
Kelly, you'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. So let's go ahead and go over some of the ideas that you have.
Are we good on the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've just, I've been out and about in the schools, and I've talked to a lot of faculty members, bus drivers, cafeteria teachers, custodians. Everybody is just working really, really hard. I've had parents call me. Their children are working really, really hard, trying to catch up, being out of school for a year with virtual learning. They're now in first grade. They're struggling. They just feel a lot of pressure. And so, and we've also got the substitute shortage, it appears. So I know we've got some teachers that are missing their planning. So I took the calendar out and I took a look at it. And there's a couple of months that were short early release days. And early release gives their teachers the opportunity to plan for the students, which better enables them with proper planning to teach their students what they need academically. So I hate to hear of teachers not getting planning because I don't feel like they're able to meet the needs of their students like they want to. So I thought maybe we could visit this calendar and see if we could make any adjustments. I know we have to have a certain number of hours, by state law, but I've also noticed our surrounding counties and our neighboring state having some early release days additional and some days off. And I've noticed that they've got some administrators covering for substitutes. So I just want to know, what can we do really to make things better for our students, first and foremost, and our faculty members who are working so hard? Is there anything we can do, Dr. Lutz?
We've been looking at, we've heard those same concerns and are aware of what's going on across the state and, of course, to our border to the north with Virginia. And we look carefully at our calendar, and we're comfortable making a recommendation to amend the calendar for Monday, December 20th and the 21st, and make those optional work days for staff.
Give them additional planning.
And the reason we can't do anything other than just optional work days is because by state they're required to work 215 days.
Right.
And we will look at the calendar. We'll continue to see where we're at temperature-wise in terms of with our staff and substitutes. We were working on a plan to get more substitutes in the district. Renee is helping lead that charge. We've identified numerous individuals, but we are we are struggling at the secondary level to fill those positions, and we're utilizing all of our building personnel at the elementary level. So we recognize that those are struggles. It's not just a Currituck struggle. It is a national issue. And I think we can see when we go to pretty much any place of business, there's a help wanted sign, and we're in the same situation. Okay. Fortunately, we're also in a better situation than many. We have a great team here with great work ethic, and I can't say enough about the support staff. But anytime we make adjustments, anything we can give back a little bit, we fully support that.
Well, I make a motion that we give them optional work days for December 20th and 21st.
I second that. Also, I would like for the public to know, if you would like some part-time work, you don't have to be a college graduate to be a substitute. You do need to be a high school graduate, and you need to take this effective teacher training. It's an online course. It's not a whole lot of time involved. You will have to go through a background check, and you need to like kids. But we'd love to have you if you're interested, and you can, it's not that you have to work every day. You can say, yes, I can sub that day, or no, I can't. So contact your child's teacher or your child's school or our central office if you would like more information.
And can we remind everyone that, we are back to having volunteers come in.
Yes.
If a family member wanted to come in, and I'm sure a teacher wouldn't mind having them come in and sit with the class.
Be a reading buddy.
Right, or something like
Buddies,
that,
yeah.
We encourage that from our community, and instead of committing to the whole day, just a couple hours.
Couple hours here and there, whenever
Numerous
your schedule
tasks
allows.
that our teachers need help with, and, students, especially at the K-1-2 level, they really benefit from having a reading buddy and someone to read to one-on-one, so... if you're interested in doing that, again, same thing. Contact the schools.
Please contact the school building or central office. We'll make sure we reach back out to you.
And you don't have to have a child there. You can volunteer, if you just have extra time on your hands and maybe your children are done with school.
You just have to do the volunteer tracker and go to the website.
Yeah.
But it's easy.
Okay.
Well, as far as substitutes, what is the pay? Is it $80 a day?
It depends on if they are, depends on their degree and what their certification is.
I think I heard 85 non-certified.
And I believe it's
High school
130.
graduate, 85.
Yeah, high school graduate.
Then more if they have a degree.
And like Ms. Rose says, you can basically make your own schedule. If they call you, it's an automated system. Normally they call you, and if you can accept the assignment, then you accept it. If you can't, you deny. And then they'll still have you on the list, and then they'll try you back another day. I, too, feel the same way that Ms. Rose does and the rest of the board and our superintendent. We know that our staff is overworked right now. Everybody's stress level is at an all-time high. We're all trying to work together and do the right thing and help the kids be educated, try to keep them in the classroom. To me, that's one of the biggest things that I strive to do, is to keep them in that classroom one-on-one with the teacher. So we have a first, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any further discussion? Motion carries, so the calendar will be amended.
And I guess tomorrow, as soon as tomorrow, principals can get that word out, start getting that word for families, so that parents can start arranging for those 2 days,
Yes,
they'll be
we'll
out of
send
school.
out messages across the website and all calls home.
Okay. That sounds good. All right, we have our student board member reports. We have Albert and Daniel. Who would like to go first?
I'll start us off
Daniel?
tonight.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So I'd like to start with Central Elementary School. Eagle families came and enjoyed our Soar into Reading Title I night and Fall Festival. We had a fantastic turnout with many friends and families who came, learned about reading, and joined in all of our festivities. As we move into the holiday season, we are looking forward to learning about traditions around the world. Students will be showcasing what they learned throughout the building. Currituck County High School. We had a phenomenal time during our CCHS Club Fair that was organized by our students. Congratulations to Gracie Capps for signing a softball scholarship to Methodist University. We'd also like to congratulate our CCHS cheerleaders on winning first place this past weekend at the pre-state cheerleading competition in Raleigh Instructional Corner. So a few things from our Instructional Corner this week. November 17th, we have a CTE sponsoring a Dress for Success Day at CCHS. We had yearbook pics today, and we also had our club pictures. And Colonel Grimes, the ROTC, and the American Red Cross sponsored a blood drive. Currituck County Middle School. We had a very successful Spirit and Red Ribbon Week and a culminating pep rally before our last playoff football game. Winter sports tryouts started this past Monday for girls and boys basketball, wrestling, and winter cheerleading. PLCs are going full force, and teachers have been very open to the new strategies and concepts being presented. We are seeing lots of evidence of implementation in classrooms during walkthroughs. Griggs Elementary School. The fall season at GES was filled with many exciting and fun learning experiences for our staff and our students. We had our first school-wide PBIS celebration, which included a book character costume parade, contest winners, snacks, and a book character pumpkin contest. A big thank you to our board members, Ms. Dwan Kraft, Ms. Karen Etheridge, and Ms. Janet Rose for coming to GES to participate as judges for the contest. We are looking forward to celebrating our staff next week with a soup luncheon. GES wishes everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Jarvisburg Elementary School. Jarvisburg's annual food drive is off to a great start. We have all canned goods and gift cards being donated to the Lower Currituck Food Pantry. Coach Martin and the PBIS team had the first 9 weeks turkey trot event. Check out our Facebook page for pictures of students and teachers competing. A good time was had by all. As we have entered the season of Thanksgiving, the JES staff are thankful for all the support we receive from our PTE, families, and colleagues in the district.
I hope you all are doing well today. I'm going to be continuing the reports with JP Knapp Early College. JP Knapp is the first school participating in the Currituck County Schools Social Media Takeover event, November 11th through December 3rd. We invite the public to check out all the exciting things going on at JP Knapp. Our focus is to highlight school initiatives and activities aligned with the district's strategic plan. At JP Knapp, we want graduates to enroll, enlist, and employ with confidence, credentials, and so much more. Knott's Island Elementary School. Knott's Island Elementary School is excited about the upcoming holiday season. We are pleased to announce that our community Christmas play will be back with a live performance on Friday, December 17th at 6 p.m. in our gym. Our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders will present North Pole's Got Talent. In addition, our pre-K through 2nd grade will serenade our guests with holiday songs. So this truly is a whole school effort. This event has been a highlight for the community of Knott's Island, and we are so thrilled to bring it back this year. Also, excitement is rampant with our students as our highly anticipated outdoor learning center is under construction. We are so happy that our teachers and students will be able to utilize this space. We want to thank our maintenance director, Mr. Mullins, and all of his team for bringing our vision to reality. Moyock Elementary School. Moyock Elementary School wrapped up a strong October with its annual community, fall festival, and Red Ribbon Week spirit activities. In addition to holiday activities and celebrations coming up in December, Moyock Elementary School is looking forward to its annual Santa Shop event, taking place on December 10th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the Moyock Elementary School gym. Santa himself will be on site and will be available for photos. Moyock Middle School. Moyock Middle enjoyed a very successful Red Ribbon Week in October and wrapped up our fall sports, in addition to closing out the first 9 weeks with the PBIS Bulldog Bucks store. November 5th was our first club day with teachers and students sharing preliminary ideas to be continued this Friday, November 19th. Winter sports tryouts begin this week for basketball and wrestling. And finally, Sharborough Elementary School. Sharborough had a very successful trunk or treat at the end of October. We had hundreds of people in attendance. Thank you to everyone who made it successful. We are looking for vendors for our holiday vendor fair on December 11th. If you are interested in applying to be a vendor or gaining more information, please contact the school or our PTO. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Albert, and thank you, Daniel. Of course, thank you. Appreciate y'all being here tonight and updating us on all the school activities. Sounds like there's a lot going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we'd like to welcome our Director of Career and Technical Education, Ms. Jennifer Woods. Hi.
Hi. So, my name is Jennifer Woods. Thank you so much for the Currituck County Board of Education for the opportunity to present to you tonight. I'm just going to give you a little brief overview of what CTE has been up to, and I'm going to have a couple of guest speakers come up and join us as well. Do I check? Okay. Perfect. So just our staff, myself as the CTE director. Kelly Greenwell is the new career development coordinator. She replaced Janie Perrier, who retired last school year. She's been a wonderful addition to the schools, working closely with counselors and teachers and students, providing opportunities in and out of the classroom, and helping the students discover possibilities after high school. Haley Bartolotta is our career expansion coordinator. She is in the middle schools, providing hands-on real-life experiences for students, exposing career pathways and potential courses to take at the high school level. Don Monroe is our internship coordinator. We'd like to thank the county commissioners for fully funding that position. The internship is the capstone of CTE coursework, bridging the gap between academic foundation and the workplace employability skills. So it's kind of the key players and where they currently are. A couple of things that we're working towards. Perkins 5 is our federal funded grant that we are required to hold advisory committee meetings as well as surveys to gather information about our programs and to align with the industry needs. We're currently having these meetings and we'll be sending out surveys to multiple stakeholder groups in the winter. As I mentioned, Haley Bartolotta is our career development or career expansion coordinator, and in the middle school she's providing career cafe moments. Just recently, the certified nursing assistant students and emergency medical response students came in and did a demonstration at Currituck Middle. December 9th, they'll be going to Moyock Middle to share that. We've had entrepreneurs come in, we're having photographers come in, insurance agents, authors, just kind of giving the students a real good feel of different careers and pathways that are out there that they can explore. As mentioned by Daniel, we just had the Dress for Success and super excited about it. It was a lot of fun. You can see some of our students and schools participating in Dress for Success. I especially love the doctor and the nurse in their scrubs over there at Jarvisburg. So adorable. We're already planning for next year and how we're going to make it bigger and better and make it grow even more. So super excited about that. Just to kind of spotlight some of our teachers, first of all, Instructor Carrie White is the nursing aide teacher at Currituck High School. Nursing aide teachers are difficult to find as the industry demand is so high and their industry salaries are much higher than that compared to a teacher. Nurse White is new to this position and has already accomplished some amazing things for her program. Just this week, she arranged for the mobile mammogram bus to come to Currituck High School to provide screenings for school staff and the community at large. And furthermore, she recently had her HOSA students compete at regionals where they received the following accolades. I'm going to ask my first guest speakers to come on up. Julie West and her students are doing some wonderful things, preparing students to enroll, enlist, and employ with Microsoft credentials and certifications.
Okay, so first at JP Knapp, all of the freshmen have to take my class. Some of them look forward to it, some of them don't, but they all appreciate it at the end. And what I would like for you to know is what the students actually get from that class. So that's why I've asked my students to tell you.
Hi, I'm Lakota Smith, and we just wanted to say a few things on what benefits it gives us to have our certification in our jobs. Personally, I think it would get better in when you're going for applications. It makes you stand out, so you have better chances, and probably secures your pay raise.
My name is Kennedy Phillips, and I think that getting your Microsoft certification is beneficial in finding jobs in the future, and it also gives you a confidence boost knowing that you could pass that test.
My name is Kelly Ching, and by taking this class, you get to learn how to create and manage Word documents, and it's a big help for college classes, especially when you have to make those essays. And Miss West has been doing such a great job at teaching it. Like, it's amazing. So
Great. So right now we're at 100% of all of our students that are in the class have Microsoft Word certification. I am at 60-ish% at Word Expert certification with another round of testing next week. So I'm expecting that to be, I would hope for 100%, but it might be closer to 80. And that is a very, very difficult test. And I do want to tell you that these three girls have both at the moment. So I'm very proud of them.
Very good.
Wonderful. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
So recently in October, we just announced that careers in construction was declared, October was declared Careers in Construction Month, and Instructor Daniel Meads provides student opportunities to practice their carpentry skills on building items such as picnic tables and cornhole boards. Next year, we hope to look for a local construction adoption to our schools to provide opportunities in the classroom, hopefully internships, things like that. And then we're going to have our next guest speaker, Mr. Daniel Walker, come up and talk about Ag and FFA.
Our own Daniel Walker.
Yes, ma'am. So again, to reiterate, my name is Daniel Walker, and I'm the Currituck FFA president, and I'd like to just share a snapshot of agriculture education and FFA in Currituck County. So this year, our theme and what we are committed to is rising up in our school and community, and increasing the membership as well in our chapter. I'd like to highlight some of these activities. So we had our first fall plant sale this year, and it was quite a success. Our members were integral in keeping care of the plants throughout the fall, and they were also very helpful in moving things to people's cars. And they helped us set up some of our children's activities, such as face painting and pumpkin bowling. We had our regional leadership conference on September 28th, and this year I'd like to announce that we had almost 40 members from our high school chapter and the middle school chapters join us in Martin County, and they learned about FFA, leadership, and how to implement these things back in their chapter. And I had the honor of providing one of the workshops on personal growth to these students, and it was great to work with all the young leaders. We've been utilizing our lunch and power time to hold our chapter meetings and events, such as our FFA-sponsored Halloween Carnival. This event was free to all students within our school, and we had a huge turnout of individuals that were very excited to participate in our Halloween-themed activities. I'd also like to announce that during our meetings during power time, and Ms. Woods attended one of them, we've had 90 to 100 members at each of our events. That is huge, and we are so excited to see so many active members. And we competed in, we have participated in the club fair this past week, and I'd also like to announce that we passed out almost 150 forms of interest to students in our school. That's a huge number. We're very excited about that. Next slide, please. Thank you. I'd also like to celebrate some of our CTE teams, and CTE is career development events, so it's really a good way for students to get out in the career field and just get a little snapshot of what different careers in agriculture hold. So our forestry and vet science CTE teams have both placed first in the Federation this year, And this past weekend, our vet science team placed second in the state out of 53 teams, so congratulations to them. As we look forward to the spring, we are very excited to continue to rise up on our community with outreach to our middle school chapters, Ag Day in the spring, and also our fall plant sale. We hope to see you all there on April 8th and April 9th. Thank you.
I think I'm going to have him present for me next time. Holy cow, he is.
Has the gift.
Oh my gosh, he's amazing.
He has
So
the
amazing.
gift.
We think so too.
Daniel, I do have one question for you. Is FFA doing their poinsettia fundraiser?
I don't believe we were doing that
Not this year?
We're putting a lot of effort into our spring plant sale this year.
Okay.
We hope to see everyone there. It's going to be a big event. And yeah, we're thinking about having food trucks there as well.
Oh, wow.
Getting some of our vendors involved in our community, so it should be a great event.
Great.
Hey, Daniel, all the plants for the spring sale, are they being grown in the new greenhouse?
Yes, they are.
Awesome.
So we're very thankful to have that as well.
You know, I always buy plants from the school in the spring, and they make it
They're healthy.
all summer. Of course, most of mine, and when it comes September, they're looking pretty rough. But that's not because of the plants. That's because of the person tending to the plant. But we won't go there. But
I must say that our members are very committed to
Yeah.
our club, and you know they say the time that they need to take care of those plants, and they're always
They're
very
beautiful,
helpful.
healthy.
Yeah.
We're just so glad to have such a strong member base.
well, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
And then just a couple of things that are coming up in the near future. February is CTE month, and we are already planning some great things for that month. March, I'm hoping to tie in, just started spring some of these ideas, tie into the Business Expo and Job Fair, and maybe kind of make it similar to the college fair. Maybe some of our students can kind of come through and see some of the business members that are participating that day. And then, as Daniel mentioned, the Ag Day, it will be April 13th. She's got a busy month, April 8th, 9th, and 13th. Holy cow.
Right.
Okay.
And
thank
Easter.
you so much.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you.
You
We
do
really
have a-
appreciate it, Miss Woods, everything that you're doing for our students. Sounds like y'all are staying really busy, which is a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Safe Schools update. And that's our goal, is to have safe schools. Ms. Virginia Arrington, our Student Services Coordinator, and Dr. Matt Lutz will be presenting.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Lutz. It's time for my monthly update with Student Services, and we're going to talk about the mental health legislative requirements and the updated COVID numbers. So first, we'll talk about the mental health legislation. Just a reminder that this is required by the state, 6 hours in the first year, and staff members are working to complete videos that range anywhere from 20 minutes to 200, I think, is the longest one. At this time, out of our 444 staff members that are required to complete the training, 199 have completed the training 100%, and that's 45% of our staff members. An additional 88 staff members have completed between 60 and 90% of the training. And the due date for the completion of these videos is December 17th. We wanted folks to be able to get the training done and enjoy their Christmas break. On November 5th, we had the opportunity to partner with the local health department and provide a flu shot clinic as well as a booster clinic for our staff members. And at that time, we were able to distribute 77 flu shots, 41 Pfizer boosters, and 65 Moderna boosters. And several staff members commented that they were thankful that we were able to do that at the school and make it convenient for them. So now for the really good stuff, our COVID update. Here's our updated numbers, and I organized the information a little bit differently this time. The first line, August 23rd through September 2nd, again goes back to the first couple weeks of school when we were not wearing masks. And so I'm going to continue to leave that information out separately. Then after that, I did monthly so that you can see basically for the month of September, we had 154 positives and 85 quarantines. Again, as we've discussed before, that first part of September, we were still kind of feeling the effects of the not wearing masks. So that's why those numbers were a little high. October, 70 positives and 61 quarantines. And then the first 2 weeks of November, we've had 40 positives and 22 quarantines. So I'm going to show you a couple of graphics to kind of get an idea of visually where we're at with our trends. So you can look at the blue line is the positivity rate, and the red line is the quarantine rate. And again, back in the beginning, the line is so different because we had to quarantine around folks when we weren't wearing masks. If you will pay attention to the dates as well with the positivity rates, here shown in the weeks, you can see that after 5 to 10 days after we've had, an event like Labor Day weekend or Halloween where people are together doing activities, then we see a little bit of a spike in the cases. So we continue to do the COVID diagnostic testing. Again, we did have a period of sign-up time in the beginning, but we kept that open because some parents do not, and staff members do not sign up for the testing until they need it. So at this time, our numbers are up to 1,350 staff and students that are participating in the testing program. And as of November 8th, we have given 503 tests and 81 tests have been positive. Again, we are able to keep the amount of time that students are out of school limited because of the quick turnaround time of the testing results, and if they are negative, they can come back to school. Finally, as you all may have seen, Pfizer has approved their vaccine for students or children ages 5 and older. And at this time, if you are interested, if anyone is interested in the vaccine for their child, they would need to either contact their pediatrician or they can contact the Currituck County Health Department for an appointment, as they do have those vaccines available if a parent opts to get their child vaccinated. And that's all I have for this evening. Any questions?
Yes, Virginia, during the first 2 weeks of school, it was mask optional and not no mask, correct?
Correct.
Okay, because I think people can misunderstand that.
Absolutely.
I have a couple of questions. Are we going to do like a student clinic, not during the school day, but maybe in the evening for working parents, those that want to get their children vaccinated?
So Albemarle Regional Health Services is in the preliminary stages of gathering information. They've sent out some surveys for surrounding counties to give their input as to whether they are interested in partnering and doing a clinic. So we have responded to that to let them know that we would be interested in partnering with the health department. And so more information will come from that. Okay. We did do a clinic earlier in the year, and I don't have the date on, right with me, but we did that so high school students could come and parents, and we had 20 people come.
Not a huge turnout, but
not a huge turnout, but
it helped some.
It did help some, and so we are absolutely willing to do that if it is beneficial and makes it convenient for parents who wish to participate.
So now we've got everybody, staff and students, that are eligible for the vaccine. So.
And what's the time frame? Is it 2 weeks for Pfizer? You get the shot, and then 2 weeks later you can get the second one. Is that?
It's about 21 days.
3 weeks.
Okay. I knew Moderna was 28 days, but so Pfizer's 3 weeks. Okay.
Well, I know at the last meeting we talked about maybe tiptoeing back to optional mask, maybe something with phonics and Spanish and speech. Have we done anything with that?
Yes, ma'am. So teachers are with those teachers that are working with students with phonics, they are taking their masks down and allowing students to be able to see their mouth and their movements. And so what they have been doing is removing their mask to do the demonstration, putting their mask back up, and then allowing the students to do the same thing.
Okay, that sounds
That's
good.
good.
And what about, I went to Macbeth. I went to the play, and I felt bad for those students. They worked so hard, and, they had the mask on, and you missed a lot of the facial expressions. And I just wondered, I know we've got a Christmas play coming up. Well, more than one. I know we've got one at Knott's Island and one at the high school. I wondered if we could possibly make mask optional for that.
So we, Miss Dowdy and I worked with Miss Santa at the high school, and we have put some things in place, and we're going to treat it similarly to athletics. So in practices up until dress rehearsal, the students will wear a mask, but in those dress rehearsals, I think Miss Santa calls them tech week or something like that, then they will practice not wearing the mask when they speak or sing, and then when they go backstage, then they put their mask on.
Okay.
And she's also working with positioning folks and things on the stage so that it lends itself to a 3-foot distance and not up close when they're singing and those kinds of things. So we have made provisions for that. So during the actual performance, when audience members are there, they will not see mask on stage.
And we have a lot, I imagine we will have several elementary schools doing Christmas programs and musicals, and they will be able to do the same?
So I haven't talked to elementary principals about that, but I certainly will.
Okay.
And that will include their practices, because I know, like at Knott's Island, they've been practicing for weeks. So this will include their practices every week, that they can take the mask off.
If they're speaking?
Right.
Yes.
As long as they're on the stage doing the rehearsal,
Yes.
practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think that'll be nice.
I
It's
do
a step
too.
in the right direction.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will be easier when they're on stage and you can't see their facial expressions and their speech is muffled. So I think that'll be really nice for
And
our
certainly any
students.
child that wishes to keep the mask on would be able to do that. But
it'll be their option
Yeah.
to have that.
Well, I think that I want the public to know that none of us want children in masks, but we want them in school, and so that 10 days of quarantine, if we don't have masks on right now, is what's holding us back. I would like to see us wait until after Thanksgiving and Christmas, because we know that we're going to have people, lots of travel, lots of people being exposed to lots of different people, and then maybe in January looking at trying to do mask optional again.
And by then, everybody will have had the chance
Exactly.
to get the vaccines if they wanted it.
Right.
Do you mind if we get a little bit of input from our students here?
Yeah, I'd just like to say,
Firsthand,
yeah,
just a
of
little
course.
quick about the mask and
I really think that students this year are just excited to be back. And I'd like to give an example about one of the times, where we were on our band bus and we were going to a competition about 3 hours away. And, with the federal laws, you have to wear the mask on the bus at all times. And our students were so excited to be going that when anybody would pull a mask down or anything, they would say, hey, put it back on. That's how much they want to be there.
They policed their friends.
Yes, like they really want to be there. Those students don't want to miss any part of their, career education or anything like that. So I just think at the moment where we're at, it's just a smart idea to not be able to quarantine all these students and just have them there for just the memories, honestly. And I just think it's an important part of your high school and all your academic career. Yes.
Thank you, Daniel. How about you, Albert?
So unfortunately, I haven't been able to attend school as most of my classes are online, so I don't really get that much experience seeing all these students with their masks. But when I do, either through tutoring or all that, it is helpful that sometimes they have their masks on so that they're able to come in for tutoring, just getting those extra hours of just basically just coming in and doing the work. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just really nice to be able to see people there consistently trying to make the effort to learn. It's not good when you're hindered by your ability to come to school because of sickness, and the more time that you're able to be there, the better you are in your academics.
Thank you. And I think what we really want to pass on is, of course, we don't want any staff or students sick, with positive cases, but it's the quarantine issue that we don't want the one child to be sick and then affect, 10 of their classmates too, to miss out on all of that as well. So what we struggle with is I feel bad for any parent who contacts me and talks about their child with masks, but I just sometimes wonder, are all of us as parents considering the innocent children in their class and interacting with them? Because, the younger ones, you can't. I mean, it's easy for, I'm sure, teachers can input to say, sit and keep your hands to yourself. You've always said that. But it's really hard, at that age. And so I know personally, I certainly don't want to have any of these kids and not say at Knott's Island who's been working for months on this play, and then all of a sudden in 2 weeks can't go because they're in quarantine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's the quarantine issue.
It is the quarantine issue, and that's the only thing holding us back as a board. We all want to have our students have the option to wear the mask or not wear the mask. But with the state mandate in place, we have to follow those rules. Therefore, if a student tests positive, anyone that student came in close contact with has to be out for 10 days. So as you can see from the chart that you shared, at the beginning of the year, we had mask optional. And our numbers were off the charts. And so that's when we made the decision to make it mandatory to wear a mask. And then you can see by the graph that made a huge difference. And it's not that we want masks. And I think that's the misconception that the public has, that the Board of Education wants masks. That's not it. It's we want, and here's my goal, and I'm speaking for the board, I hope that's okay, we want our students engaged. We want them in the classroom. We want them to experience school, their friends, their clubs, whatever that may be. And that's the reason we have to make this decision, and it is a tough decision that
And we know
make.
it's not popular.
It's not popular, but we make that decision on a monthly basis for the kids. We want them to stay healthy. We want them to stay in school. We want them to learn. And the last year and a half or more now, it's been crazy. But our main objective is for our kids. And so I want the public to know we're all somebody, they tell us that we all vote the same all the time. That's not it. We all vote because we love our kids, and we vote to do the right thing. And if it takes voting together on that, so be it. But we're all together on some of these decisions for the betterment of our children, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion that we continue with mask mandatory and look at this closely. I know we'll have to look at it again in December, but
yes.
I'm thinking that January is going to be the month.
Okay, and I'll second that motion.
Discussion.
Yes. Any further discussion?
Yeah,
Dr.
I would
Lutz?
like-
Your turn.
Thank you. I would just like to add a couple.
Soapbox, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to add a couple clarifying points. One is that indoor activities, so we're into indoor sports season, which will require masks from spectators, and we have chosen to go with masks on the bench, which eliminates the quarantine and shutting down our programs. Also, we have finals coming up, and this decision will allow us to go through our finals at the high school level uninterrupted. Yes. And I do want to come back to the notion that we have done everything we can in Currituck to get our kids back in school. As much as any place in the state, and I think these decisions allow us to keep our kids in school and keep those opportunities open, much like Daniel speaks to, and get our kids in seats in the building and having opportunities that return us to some sense of normalcy.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Lutz. We have a first, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Masks will be mandatory for the next 30 days.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Arrington. Field trips. Dr. Matt Lutz, you will give us an update on our field trips that took place.
Okay. We had 2 trips. We had the cross-country regionals in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and that kind of caught my eye. I thought, that's different, and we're 3A. We're no longer 2A this year, so the site is different. I'm like, why are we going to Jacksonville? It used to be Washington.
That is different.
So we're heading to Jacksonville there, and we had some runners qualify, and turned around and went to Kernersville, which is the traditional place for the cross-country state championships.
All right. Thank you. All right, the consent agenda has been amended to include our technology purchase. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a first, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The consent agenda is approved. We have a work session December 16th at the Knapp Professional Learning Center, and that will start at 4 p.m. on December 16th. Then we will meet shortly after here at 6:30 that evening. Board member comments? Ms. Rose, if you'd like to start us off.
Okay. Well, first I want to give a shout out to all our students that performed in Macbeth. It was awesome. And to all of the different schools that are working to do food drives for our food pantries. I appreciate all of you doing that and giving back to our community and making sure that everybody has food to eat. I'm looking forward to the Christmas program that's coming up at the high school and at Knott's Island Elementary. Been invited to both. I'm happy that a budget has passed the state of North Carolina for the first time in 3 years. So hats off to our Representative Bobby Hanig and Senator Bob Steinberg for their work with that. And I just want to thank, as I said earlier, the bus drivers, the custodians. I know they're doing double duty. The cafeteria workers as well. They're stretched. I heard today of one school that operated with one cafeteria person. It's a smaller populated school, but that's a lot, folks. Our people are really working hard, and teachers covering other classes and assistants probably being pulled in about 20 directions, and our administrators that are supporting our faculty and staff. I appreciate all of you. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. Ms. Peters?
I just wanted to express my sympathies to the Nunes family as we started that off. I'm really sorry about that. And I just wanted to thank Mrs. Woods for that great presentation. I enjoyed that. I think we actually discussed that a little bit tonight about, we want to work on really pushing our CTE and getting it out there and for all the students, because there's a lot of great things out there along with college, but there's other things to do too. So I enjoyed that. Thank you. And I just wanted to wish all of our staff, students, and family a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone enjoys it. I know last year we were so restricted, but I hope everyone has a nice Thanksgiving and travel safe, and look forward to coming back after the holiday.
Thank you, Ms. Peters. Dr. Dobney?
Yes, I visited Currituck County Middle School to try to assess if there was any residual effect that the kids had, the training when they were younger in the OVEAS program, which is an anti-bullying program, and that dealt with the counselors. And Jennifer, if you could come up and just say what you're going to be doing with them to try to get the OVEAS program going again.
You said Jennifer, you meant Virginia.
No, I said Virginia, didn't I?
Did you? I'm sorry.
I thought you said Jennifer too.
Oh. We all thought you said Jennifer.
I have my mask on either.
I'm sorry, I was confused for a second. We have been talking about the planning for the Alveas to continue in all K-8 schools, and so we're working towards a plan to train the leadership teams in the remaining 4 elementary schools and the 2 middle schools before the end of the school year, and then make sure that all the staffs are trained before August, because it is year 1 of our strategic plan goal to make sure that we can implement in all of the K-8 schools next school year.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And also, I attended a joint meeting with the Board of County Commissioners and the Board of Education, and that proved to be very productive, and I'd like to thank the Board of Commissioners for the opportunity to meet with us on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And I wish everybody a safe, happy, healthy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Dr. Dobney. Ms. Kraft?
Yes, well, I went to all of our schools. I went to the Central Title I Reading Night. That was amazing. I didn't know that many kids were at Central, and it was crazy. But they did a great job. I also went to the Moyock Elementary School Fall Festival, and that was even crazier. But I want to give a shout out to Currituck County High School, Miss Santa and all the cast and crew from Macbeth, and also to the CCHS cheerleaders for their state wins, and then to our volleyball team who had a great season. I want to welcome Moyock Middle School's new secretary, Sue Overton. I got to meet her today. She's really excited about being here in Currituck with us. And I always stop by Miss West's class. I'm ashamed to say this because it was my first grade classroom, and so I always go in there and just kind of reminisce a minute. And so the other day when I went in was the day that it happened to be the day that she had just found out that all her class had passed their certification. So congratulations to them, and thank you, Miss Wood, and everyone have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ms. Kraft. Dr. Lutz?
Before I get started, a few clarifying points on the calendar amendments. NAP, we recognize we're going to have to tweak your schedule a little bit. We haven't forgotten that. We're going to push some days back. We'll make that work. And then our non-certified, our hourly employees, we'll make sure that you are cared for and taken care of. That always. We have a certain group that's hourly, and that when we have days like that, we make sure that we provide opportunities for them to gain their hours, as we have plenty of work to get done given the staff shortages that we have. So, yeah, I too went to Macbeth. What a great job. I know it was Miss Santa's first play where she got to have everybody live. I'm looking forward to everyone. Virginia, I appreciate the efforts along with Dr. Dorm in terms of getting our masks and applying kind of the same logic and rules that we do for sports. Our fall sports season, we had a very successful fall sports season at the high school, placing numerous teams at the state level. The community support in this county is just second to none when it comes to our schools. They're active, they're engaged, and we get our kids in the building. And I want to thank this community and wish them all a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Dr. Lutz. A couple of things. I was able to visit several of the schools, and there's some great things happening throughout our community. Lots of team sports being played. And I wanted to let you know that Dr. Lutz, Ms. Kraft, and myself traveled to Greensboro, North Carolina, and we attended the North Carolina State Board Association's conference. And we had a lot of breakout sessions, and we were able to choose which session that we wanted to attend based on the subject for that session. It was very informative, and a lot of good things are happening in our state. A lot of information that we came home with and want to implement. So I was happy that we had the opportunity to attend the conference. I wanted to just wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I can't believe it's mid-November already. This year is flying by. As always, I think the older I get, the more time is just passing by so quickly. So love those that are in your life. Have them over. Don't worry about your house being perfect or your rugs being shampooed or your finest china. Put out the paper plates and the red Solo cups Yeah, and gather around your table and just be thankful for your family and your friends and just everything that we as a nation are so blessed with, and especially in our small community, such as Currituck. I travel a lot, but I always love coming home because it's that sense of, just a sense of love. You know, when I come over that bridge, and it is just something about our little community that I love dearly. So, happy Thanksgiving, and with that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.